Hello, this is John Gulda with Solid Rock Marriage Restoration. Glad you can join me. Trying to bring you another quick video share to help you in your marriage and hopefully others that you know as well. So today I want to talk about, you might hear my wind chime. I don't know if it's coming through, but it's kind of a nice sound, a little breeze. But today I want to talk about something that's really important, and it's two key traits that couples have in common that I see when they're successful in transforming their marriages. And so again, two key traits that couples have in common, the ones that are successful in transforming their marriages. Transforming doesn't always mean going from the brink of divorce to a thriving marriage. Sometimes it's really just going from an okay marriage to a thriving marriage. So keep that in mind, but there's still two key traits that couples have in common. Very important. I want to talk about that today, and I'll share an example as well. Really, we all know that many couples experience challenges in their marriage. That's not a surprise to any of us. We all know that. I've been there. You wake up and you say, hey, this is not the relationship. This is not the marriage that I had in mind. This is not what I wanted. There's something missing. Either we're just like friends, or maybe it's worse, and we can hardly stand each other, or there's some key issues where there's been broken trust or intimacy, or we're not connecting, and we're growing more and more distant, poor communication, whatever it might be. And in a lot of cases, folks, may be on a path to divorce, and they know if they don't make changes, they're going to end up in divorce. In other cases, it's really an issue of, well, we're not going to get a divorce, but we're just going to continue kind of in an average or okay kind of a situation, and not really strengthen our marriage to get it where we want it to be. That's not really, neither one of those is a great outcome if you don't address the situation. And so what I want to share is these two key traits are going to define the success that you experience. Are you going to be truly decisive to get the help you need to transform your marriage? And will you be committed enough to prioritize it and keep working it, and keep investing time into it, and keep putting your time and attention into it, so that you're successful transforming your marriage and you don't just start it and then not finish? So this is really important. And again, I'll summarize them. You have to be committed and decisive. Decisive enough to make a decision, and then committed enough to follow through. Because it's important to understand, because if you're not decisive enough, if a couple's not decisive enough, then what's going to happen is you're likely going to fail to achieve the results you're looking for. And if you're not committed enough, the same thing happens. If couples that aren't decisive often fail to make the key decision they need to get help and lead themselves through personal change. And so they stay struggling with the same issues, and they don't ever take the action they need. And maybe they put off the action. They think about it. Well, I'll study it some more. I'll think about it some more. We'll come back in 3 months when everything's better, and it's a better time to work it. And they just put it off, and they put off. And they're not decisive enough to pick something and to see it through. That second one is the see it through part. So you can pick something. You can pick the best program in the world, the best coach or the best counselor in the world. But if you don't participate, it's no better than a gym membership where you don't go to the gym, right? You have to show up. You have to do the work, and you have to follow the guidance and support that you're getting. And so there's that commitment. And it's going to happen that life is busy. It's going to happen that there are other priorities and things that require your attention. It's going to happen. The question is, where are you going to prioritize your marriage amidst the other priorities, the busyness, illness, other things? And will it be that level of commitment to see you through? So one couple I want to highlight that I'm working with in our 90-day Marriage God's Way with MAA program today, when they first met me, they were pretty serious about healing and restoring their marriage. They came on the call together. They were working it together. They were wanting to seek help together. That's always helpful. One spouse can initiate change, but when you have both working together, it's powerful. They didn't linger on making a decision to enroll in the program. They made the decision pretty quickly, and when they saw they saw that it could help them, and they enrolled and they got started right away. And that kind of decisiveness moves people forward towards solving the problems and transforming their marriage. But they've also encountered a lot of adversity. There's been some personal illness. There's been a lot of busyness associated with work. There's been there's been some back to school stresses and busyness, and they've had to make that decision to keep their focus on their marriage. When you have other things drawing your attention, it might slow you down, but they're still prioritizing their marriage. They're still prioritizing working through the program, engaging in the question and answer calls with Tanya and me. They're prioritizing engaging via email and our support, prioritizing sharing and collaborating with the work product and what they're learning, how it's going, what questions they have. And so actively engaging, and they're going to see progress. If they keep that up, they're going to see their marriage transformed. Not because it was easy, not because it was convenient, not because they had nothing else drawing their attention, but because they stuck with it, they were committed. It would be very easy for them to let busyness or illness derail them, but they're not going to. So, what does this mean for you? Well, if you want to strengthen and transform your marriage, it means remember the two traits we're talking about here. You have to be decisive enough to get the help and make a decision on engaging with someone who can help you. And then you have to be committed enough to follow through and to engage fully and get the most out of it and not get distracted and pulled away by all the other things that are going to come at you in life while you're trying to go through this, this program. So that's really what I wanted to share today, because I see it when you have those two traits, decisive and committed, you see marriages transformed. Faith is a big issue as well. Really seeking God, and I'm not calling that out separately here, but I do recognize that's a very important aspect, and I sort of that is part of our program through and through. So I sort of put all that together when I say you've got decisiveness and commitment. I'm assuming in the backdrop that there's an element of faith that's going to help drive you as well. And seeking God's blessing, God's guidance, God's help. So I don't mean to discount that. That's a very important element. But as you're thinking about, even as you're praying and believing and asking for help, you're going to have to make decisions, and you're going to have to follow through, just like so many of our Bible heroes had to do and when God called them to do something. So it still comes down to decisiveness, making a decision, and following through with commitment. So I hope this has been helpful. Hope this is something that kind of really inspires you a bit to get serious if there's anything you're struggling with. If you want help, please reach out. You can feel free and DM me. We'll also put some contact information in the comments. And if you're not already a member of the Solid Rock Marriage Restoration Facebook group, it's a free group where we share training and provide support, and where you hang out with other like-minded Christians who are trying to strengthen their marriage. We'll put a link in there as well in the comments. So hope you're blessed by this today. Bye.